Here with head coach of the Villanova Wildcats, Andy Talley, as we continue on with the second hour of Media Day Live on our way to 12 o'clock p.m. here from M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Coach, great to see you as always. How you doing?
My pleasure. Good to see you, Mike.
What's happening? How's the summer so far?
Summer's been busy. We've been keeping our kids at summer school, and guys are working, running, lifting, and staying out of trouble.
Any activities that you got? You out there play some golf, or do you do
a little golf, not much.
Okay.
I like to stay close to the guys in the summertime.
Okay, it's been so hot out there. You know what I mean? It's been a crazy year.
Brutal. This has been the hottest summer on record for us.
It's going to be probably something I think a lot of people are going to have to be consciously watching, especially come practice time, because we don't need any of that like we've seen in years past with the dehydration and that kind of stuff. So it's going to be something that I think August is certainly going to be a month to kind of watch out for when you get ready for the games.
For sure. We always do that as a coaching staff, all the guys in the league. You're most concerned about dehydration, exhaustion, that type of thing.
Well, here we go now with your 27th year at the helm of Villanova. I mean, how do you describe that? Do you remember back, certain years? Is there things that stand out for you? Obviously, the national championship, I'm sure, just a couple years ago. But how would you describe the time and what you've accomplished at Villanova?
Well, it's been a great run. Pretty unusual to be at a place that long and survive. We've had a lot of great players come through: Brian Westbrook, Caesar, Ben Agelana, etc. Brian Finneran, and it's been great to watch those guys go on and be successful in life. So, graduation, academics, community involvement, along with being a good football program. That's kind of what we've tried to do, and I think we've put a pretty good product out, Mike.
Great run by you guys last year. Again, 9-5. You beat Delaware in overtime to get into the playoffs. Then you have to go to Stephen F. Austin. You beat them. You have to go to Appalachian State. You beat them. Then you go all the way out to Eastern Washington. I mean, and that it must have just been like, okay, it's so much traveling, so much on the road, all that kind of stuff. Did it just kind of catch up with you in that ball game there?
I think it really did, and I think what happened is ESPN moved the game from Saturday night to Friday night. So we had to leave a day early, and we were in the middle of finals.
Wow.
So after you've made that kind of trek 3 weeks in a row, I think it ran us down a little bit. But also we were playing top 1 and 2 teams. I mean, Delaware was number 1 when we played them. Steve Austin was 3. Appy was the number 1 seed.
Exactly.
And then you run into Eastern Washington, who was number 1 when we played them. So the caliber of team and the travel just kind of got to us.
You guys really, to continue with what you did after winning the national championship is very admirable, in that last season. And now this year is kind of a year where you do lose a lot of guys. So, I mean, how do you try to get this team back up to, where you were the last couple of years? And does it happen in 1 year? Or what's your thoughts on that?
Well, ordinarily, if the league wasn't as good as it is, you might have a shot to get back to the top. But this league is so tough week in and week out. So I have a feeling we're going to have to pay some dues to get there, prove ourselves. I think maybe somewhere in midseason we'll start to develop as a really good football team. But right now we have a lot of question marks starting at quarterback and the offensive line, and we have to figure those out before we play Temple.
Yeah, I picked 7th in the preseason poll in the CAA, but we all know how sometimes the records don't ever seem to match up, because even last year you wonder where certain teams fall and where they fit in, and you're like, I didn't expect that before the year started. So being in the top league in the country at FCS, anything's pretty much possible, right?
For sure, and we're going to roll the dice and play hard, and these players that just left us left a great legacy, so we're going to build on that.
Tell us a little bit real quick about your work off the field with the bone marrow program and helping people that you've done for a long time now. And I know you've gotten other coaches involved with it. Talk to us about that real quick.
Well, we're real excited about that. This year we tested 8,600 people, and we had 34 college football teams around the country involved with us. Delaware, many of the teams in our league were involved with us. Virginia, Miami, San Jose State. And all of these teams around their spring game asked their players to go into the campus community and test at least 200 people, and that's how we got to 8,600. And many of those players this year have been called. Our Matt Caesar was called to save a little girl. I know that Delaware just had a player called. Penn had 2 players called. Lehigh had 3 players called. So it's been fantastic, and we're saving lives. And That's what it's all about.
Well, congratulations, and thanks so much for everything you're doing on the field and off the field. Wish you guys the best of luck this year in 2011, all right?
My pleasure. Thanks very much for having me.
Thanks, Coach. Great
Take
seeing
care.
you. Okay, Andy Talley, head coach of Villanova, the Wildcats, getting ready for 2011.